Hi everyone, today is very exciting because I've just got this brand new AOI housing for Sony A7C Mk2. What comes with the camera housing package. So obviously you got the housing itself that come pre-installed with the flat port. We have a little plate that sits under the camera, which would then you can push to release the lens. We have the hood for the LCD screen in the back. We have the zoom gear. We have the spare O-ring. We have the wrist strap, the vacuum pump, the silicone grease, USB charger, manual, and this is a little flash trigger, which I'm not going to be using because I film with video lights. And then we have the front cover once you remove the port, so this will then cover just to protect the housing from dust. And here we are. First, just a little disclaimer that this is not a sponsor video. I pay for all of this with my own money. I bought this whole pack from Aquatic Imaging Australia. Thank you, Vanessa. Now, let's get into it. Let's put the camera inside and play with this. Got to remove the lens first, put the zoom gear in, place the lens back, like so. Extend the lens, make sure that the viewfinder is out, and this is the lens release mechanism. You can release the lens without removing the camera from the housing. Now the camera's ready. Just make sure that this little loop here for the neck strap are pushed up. It's very important, otherwise you won't be able to get the camera into the housing. You need to push these two buttons up. Make sure they're out of the way. And then we make sure that the lever are in position. So this is the lever to change from photo and video and S&Q mode. The on and off buttons in off position. Push it down. And we're ready to close. Lock position. So here it is in the housing. Let's turn it on. One thing to note though, you cannot use the wheel dials at the back here. So there's no access to that with this housing. Could be quite critical to some people, but I'm just gonna change this EV dial to my aperture, or actually change this rear dial to my aperture and the EV dial to shutter speed. So that's not really a deal breaker for me. Where with Seafrog housing, you can access the rear dial here, where this one with AOI housing, you cannot. So there you go. The new AOI housing for Sony A7C Mk2. So as I mentioned to you guys earlier, I've moved from Seafrog to the AOI housing. And here's a side-by-side comparison. They are pretty much almost the same size and weight, And this is the setup with flat port for the Sony kit lens. Obviously, the biggest pro for Seafrog is the price. It is the cheapest housing in the market. It is upgradable. As I mentioned before, I moved from A7C Mk2 to A7C Mk2. All the ports and domes are interchangeable, so I just need to buy the housing itself. That is also going to be the case with AOI. This package comes standard with the flat port for the kit lens. You can change it. You can change to a longer flat port for the macro lens 90mm, which also fit the new Tamron 90mm macro lens. I will post the link to the port chart, which is the AOI AX system. So the biggest con for AOI housing is that, as I mentioned before, you don't have access to the wheels at the back. So that means you only have 3 dials that you can use, which is the top EV dial, the one next to it, and the front dial. Where with Seafrog housing, you have all 4 dials that you can customize and you can make an adjustment on the go underwater. And other bits and pieces, the dials and the button feel a lot smoother than the Seafrog. The build feels a lot more solid in your hand, but again, keep in mind that this is my personal feeling, right? You could feel completely different, because just remember that both are plastic housing, they're not aluminum. And the other good thing about AOI is the built-in leak alarm and the vacuum system. And that's about it. First impression, a little bit of unboxing of this new AOI housing for Sony A7C Mk2. I'm very, very excited about this. Next, I'll be doing underwater tests just to make sure that everything works the way it's supposed to work, and then obviously try the real dive with this housing. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comment below. I'll try to answer them as much as I can. Remember that this is my first time using this housing, and this is not a sponsor video, so I will be figuring things out as I go along.